Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you guys can tell by the title, I got engaged and this is my fiance. And so basically we're just going to tell you how the story went on that day. So it was April 10th and we planned to do a family event to go bowling. So it's like my family and his family. We were supposed to do like that family meeting for like in the future if he was to propose. Our families would both be there because I definitely wanted to bring my family and his family to like be there. Everyone in our family would have felt some type of way of not being there for the engagement. That day I should have like noticed or like knew that you were gonna propose because it was an event that we planned. And when we went to the bowling, his mom got up and was like, oh no, like let me pay for the food. And we were kind of like going back and forth with paying, and then she ended up paying at the end. And I was like, okay, like that's weird, you know, because Colin paid for like everyone, and then I was supposed to pay for the food. What like threw me off was my aunt, she's pregnant, and she was like, okay, like let's go somewhere to go take pictures for, you know, the announcement that I'm gonna make. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And she just wanted me and my sister to be there because we're the only two like nieces. So basically the plan that day was to take pictures after the bowling for my aunt's pregnancy. And you know, once we got done bowling, like we got, you know, all dressed up, you know, really nice. And my aunt, like this is something else that I should have noticed, that they were like doing my hair and makeup and my nails that day. So my aunts, they were both getting me and my sister ready to like take these pictures like before the bowling. So I feel like that should have been like clue number 2 or number 1 at least. And then once we got done bowling, we changed really fast and they were like making sure that we looked good. That day, there were so many people there. There was like no parking space. If you guys know where the Sawgrass like trail is, right?
Yeah, it's on Atlantic.
Yeah, so there like certain days it's like packed and then other days it's not packed. And I think that day that we went was on a Sunday, right?
Yeah, it was a Sunday.
My aunt wanted to get pictures where the sunset was, you know, there. My aunt, like we started taking pictures to her and we were like, me and my sister were like putting hearts on her stomach. And they were like, oh Nicole, like let's take pictures for your Instagram. And I was like, okay, like I haven't posted in a while, you know. But then at the same time, I noticed that Colin and his mom were like talking right there and his mom had a backpack. Wait, like why is everyone like staring at me, you know, for like a bit second. And then my aunt ended up saying, oh, turn around, take pictures of you in the sunset with like your back face. And I was like, okay, you know, I turned around, you know, I didn't think of anything of it. I was like, let me like do like a little like back pose and then a front pose like later on to take pictures. So I turned my back around and I was there for like a minute. And I didn't think of anything. I was just like, okay, like I see the vision, you know, taking a little back pose, and then once I turn around, I'll take like front poses. But it was like kind of weird at the same time because my whole family was like there. You know, I didn't want to make it all about me because it's basically supposed to be all about my aunts. Who was it? You or Monica that said to turn around?
Well, they told you to turn around like 2 times and you never turned around, so then I told you to turn around. And you were wondering probably why I was standing there.
Yeah, when I turned around, I was like in shock, like in such shock. Like I was, you know, gonna like pass out or something because I couldn't believe my eyes. Like literally in that like moment, I was looking at him, looked at my family, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like the ring. When we show you guys the video, he did ask me, will you marry me? And I said yes, but you can't hear him in the video, which a lot of my friends were like, he didn't even ask the question and you said yes already. And I was like, no, he said, will you marry me? And I said yes right there and then.
Yeah, it was probably bad because it was in an open space.
Yeah, and I think like a lady walked in front of the camera. She did not care, but it was a pretty epic moment. Like I couldn't believe like this was happening. You know, my family actually getting to be there, his family too getting also to be there. And we ended up celebrating afterwards. Like we got ice cream together, and then we ended up calling everyone that, you know, that was close to us and letting them know like, you know, what happened. And actually that week, like Thursday and Friday, I think, people were asking me, oh, like, oh, Nicole, like, when are you gonna get married? When are you gonna get engaged? You know, that type of stuff. Like, maybe like towards the end of this year or maybe next year, you know, who knows? You know, that's the plan, and then we'll get married. Basically, he surprised me and he shocked me. I couldn't believe that it was happening, and I'll be inserting that in the videos, like my reaction afterwards. And now he's gonna tell his side of the story.
For a long time, she had always been telling me how like she wanted to have her family be involved in the engagement. I'd always been like my biggest problem. Like I didn't know how I was going to be able to get them to get there without her realizing that I was gonna do that, and that was always my worry all the way up to like it happening, all the way like there was a lot of things that happened that I didn't understand how she didn't know that. I was asking her to marry me that day. At the beginning of the day when I first picked you up to go to church that day.
Oh yeah.
I was like, the first thing I said was, "Hey, you should start recording today, like of like what you're doing all day because you're gonna do all these things today." And
yeah, I was like, no, because like I don't know what I would title it, you know, like a day of my life or something, or like a weekend of my life, you know, I don't know. I just didn't want to record, but then now that I think about it, it's like should have been like, oh, like he never tells me to like record a video, so like why is he telling me now?
like getting her family involved was my biggest thing. Like once I got that figured out, I kind of figured everything would be all right. I had actually purchased the ring, got it in February, so it was what, 2 months before I asked you.
Yeah.
The chick asked me at the place. She goes, "What are you gonna ask her?" And I was like, "Oh, I got to figure that out now because I got to get this all planned out. Like everything's just happening now."
He told me like in the car one time, he was like, "Oh, what if I told you I got the ring?" And I was like, "There's no way, like no way you could ever."
I had said, "What if I pulled it out right now?" And she goes, "I highly doubt that you have that right now." And I was like, "Oh, you sure of that?" And she goes, "I'm absolutely sure of that." And I had it. I had just bought it probably like that week or 2 weeks prior to that. It dragged out a little while because I had to figure out when to do it. I had to ask for parents and everything too, and everything really just happened within that 2 months. So from February until April, it was what, February, like the day after, it was like 15th, so it was the day after Valentine's Day we actually bought it. So it was actually less than 2 months from when I bought it to when all this happened. So it definitely was a goal this year, and I just wanted to get that part of it over with already because I had no clue where to do it at too. It was like everybody over here either does it at the beach or you got to spend some outrageous money to pay for like a rooftop somewhere. Then I remember that somewhere that we had liked to go. We went there a few times. Well, like we go there normally like once or twice a year. We just watch the sunset or we go fishing there. And it's somewhere that we go often. Why not go there? Because I mean everything else is going to be expensive. And if you went to the beach or like Fort Lauderdale Beach, Pompano Beach, one of those, or Miami Beach, there's going to be so many people there, and I feel like it would ruin the moment. Plus, it's what everybody does. And I thought it would be cool, too, to see the sunset going over the Everglades, too. I think that's a pretty good sight, honestly. And it was a perfect day, too. I believe the day before, it wasn't that nice, right? Or was it? I don't remember.
It wasn't sunny. That's what
it was.
I was like, then all of a sudden, like, it was all nice and pretty in the sunset.
That week, I had a softball game, and her mom came over to me and was asking me, like, about, what, you're going to ask her to marry you in a bowling alley? And I thought, no, not even a little bit. That's what the point of us going to the sunset was for. And she goes, oh, okay. It was fun. Everybody had fun, and then it was pretty much a rush to get over to the spot. Leading up to that, like the day before, like the whole thing with her aunt taking pictures was because your other aunt Monica was, we gotta figure out something because we can't just tell you, hey, go get dressed in the bathroom at a bowling alley, and you're not gonna figure that out. I'd be like, well, but then maybe you wouldn't have figured it out because you hadn't been figuring out the signs all day anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe you wouldn't have realized. If it wasn't really for Monica and Elena, then it wouldn't have probably turned out as good because, I mean, Elena had to act. Monica had to get your nails all done in a matter of like hours.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you had all day. But then, yeah, when we were just leaving the bowling alley, we had about 30 minutes. It probably took us, about 8 minutes to get there. The parking was so packed that it was going all the way from the walkway entrance all the way to the entrance of the park. People were parking in the church and subway parking lot and walking over. We all found parking spots because I didn't care where. If like it was the tiniest spot, I would have parked in the middle of the road. It didn't matter to me. We had to get there because we had probably about like 10 minutes probably, I'd say, to get there before the sun went down. And their parents weren't finding a parking spot, and then there was like the tiniest little spot left open, and I was like, they gotta park there. There's like, they have to. Thankfully, everything worked out. They got their parking spot. Her aunt and then took the picture. She didn't want to take the picture at first. That's the part she didn't tell you guys. She didn't want to take the picture, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, take the picture. You're taking that picture right now. Because if she didn't take the picture, it would have ruined everything. Like we would have all had to walk away, and we would have had it done it on a different day because it would have just ruined the moment. Thankfully, she listened. As soon as she turned around, I was like, "All right, let me hurry up and get this so she doesn't turn back around because I know how she is. She starts wondering what's going on. So she's gonna turn around when nothing's going on." Yeah, and then I was like, "Wow, she didn't turn around yet." And so I hurried up and got over there, and I mean, it kind of did suck when I bent down because I already knew we were going to be in the rocks. So yeah, the rocks didn't feel that great. So I think I almost fell over when I was going down. Yeah, her aunt had told her to turn around, and she wasn't listening. She didn't hear, and I was like, "Hey, turn around." And when she turned around, I just saw this complete look of shock.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Yes." I did it. It was like it was a great moment because that was my whole worry, was her not being shocked or her knowing. Yeah. But I had a good feeling walking up the pathway that you had no idea. I see her look of shock, and then I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, "Are you gonna say anything?" Like,
this is when you ask.
Yeah, because I said, "Will you marry me?" And she's like still shocked, like she's still trying to process what's going on. Yeah. And her hands are in her face and everything, and I'm just like, it felt like it was like 2 minutes, but it probably only had been like 20 seconds. I was just like, "Are you gonna say something?" And then you, of course, or something like that. Couldn't be more happy. Like, it's amazing that how long we've known each other, and
just planning the wedding is so exciting. I know I'm gonna like try to make like little vlogs about it or like bridal videos to take you guys with me.
Smile, baby.
Just stay there. Yes. Oh my gosh, really? No way. I'm about to pass out. Don't fall into the water. Oh my god, no stop.
Good though. I'm glad to get rid of the shark
Oh my gosh, this is really good. Hi, it's me and Colin. Now let me get closer. Yeah. So we just wanted to tell you guys that we're engaged. Yeah. I have to tell you something.
What? Oh, congratulations!
Thank you. Aww. So I have to show you something. I'm engaged.
Oh my god! What?
This is Gabe.
Hey guys, I'm Gabe with the One More brand.
Yeah.
Make sure you cop. I guess she'll leave it down here. Wait, what? No way!
I'm engaged!
Colin!
Ready? So ready? Hot.
Oh, your nails. Yes, look at her beautiful nails. Is that what you're doing? No, what is this then?